It's going to be an interesting course because, I mean, it's a Zoom retreat. Okay, people are going to be doing it in their own home with their own sort of commitments, but we have to sort of get them into some sort of retreat. How are we going to do that?
Going to take some kind of special recognition that we are on a course together, even if the kind of structure of it is up to the individual. Ideally, I would say it's worth scheduling, figuring out ahead of time when you can schedule the sessions in. Just from my own experience, if I leave it to kind of like just whenever I have a minute here or there, sometimes it's weeks before with previous festivals, for example, it's taken like weeks to get through them all. So maybe within some reasonable time frame, ideally the days of the retreat itself, but of course that's not possible for many people because of work and kids and the rest of it. But to make some kind of schedule and then commit to being on the course through mere name, mere imputation, I think it will work. Because in a way, it's the retreat lends itself to that, isn't it? It's about emptiness, and it's going to break down so many boundaries. This retreat in people's minds. This could just be another one that we're on a retreat, but it's merely imputed. It functions very well. It works very well. Everyone will get a lot out of it.
So they can prepare their own schedule that fits in with their own commitments and stick to it, just as a way of getting my mind to stop thinking of it as like Zoom is second best. I'm trying to really think of it as like doing a retreat by Zoom is actually better. And I think we've got to adopt that mentality.
Actually better, not even just the same good, but better.
Yeah, it's better. We've got to think like that in order to make up the boundaries for the retreat.
But I think one advantage of doing it by Zoom is that there can be people tuning in from all over the place, which is lovely because there's that feeling of that kind of global community. And also, I think it's very intimate. You have your computer, you have the teachers just talking right in front of you. I've just been doing some of the fall festival, as I'm sure many of you have, with Genla Dekyong, and she's right there. She's right in front of you, teaching you through the screen. It's like, to me, it feels very intimate, very direct, and you can really feel that the teacher is talking directly to you, which, to be honest, they are. But sometimes when you're in a big assembly, you sort of think, well, they're not really talking to me. They're talking to all these guys. When you've just got you on the screen and the teacher, and then they're talking to you. They're talking to you.
Yeah, and you don't have to share the bathrooms with 5,000.
And people can actually bring their family to this, and especially even their furry family, for example, and actually do things like bring them in.
Oh no, you mean I can't make jokes about cat videos?
And
that's
this
my entire repertoire. God.
Yeah, she's already done medicine Buddha empowerment. This little character has already had his first empowerment.
Oh.
So I'm just saying, it's like they're meditating right now. So you can do that with at home. You can invite your entire furry family. But yeah, I mean, all living. One thing about the emptiness of the mind is it just shows the huge potential of all living beings, because their minds are not fixed. Their minds are as empty as our minds. Right now, they can't do much about that because they don't know the methods and they can't understand them. Nonetheless, it does mean that at some point their mind can also become the mind of a Buddha, just like ours. There's nothing fixed about it. Their minds are completely empty.
Yeah, that's actually quite an inspiring point. Like sometimes I feel I'm a cat and Buddha's a human being, let's put it that way. Like the difference between a cat and me is the difference between me and Buddha.
Got it. Yeah.
And thinking, look, the emptiness of Buddha's mind and the emptiness of my mind, It's the same as like the emptiness of my mind and the emptiness of a cat's mind. And all emptinesses are the same nature. Me, Buddha, don't seem so far apart.
That's I think one of the most inspiring applications of the teaching on the emptiness of the mind, is that our minds are not so far apart, and we can mix our minds with Buddha's omniscient wisdom anytime we want, because it's not like our mind is all separated out and nothing to do with Buddha's mind. They're equally empty and they can mix, like water mixing with water. And I think sometimes when people receive teachings on the emptiness of the mind, they understand a lot better how it is that we can mix our mind with the mind of all enlightened beings, our spiritual guide. And it's perfectly possible to do that because there's nothing inherently existent.
Like often when people come to a Dharma center and they come and they have a great retreat and they go deep, and then they go back home and it's like their retreat experience falls apart. They are at home. They have to deal with their normal commitments whilst doing retreat. So it's almost like
that's very true.
Will be more.
Absolutely. That's a very, very good point. If you can manage to get into those kinds of conditions at home, you can get into those kinds of conditions at home. There's nothing to stop you. You can do it within the very midst of your home life and your daily life, through a little bit of discipline, carving out some time. I think sometimes people feel they can only concentrate when they're out of their normal circumstances. And I think what's this year has shown in general, and this retreat in particular will hopefully show, that that's just not true. You're perfectly capable of concentrating and getting a huge amount out of the teachings.
We're going to make it possible for people to manage to do it. We're going to be with them every step of the way, which is part of the exciting aspect of it. It's one of the things I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I think these joint retreats have got a lot to offer. I did one with again Menla earlier this year, and yeah, it was amazing having like the two different teachers and the two different styles, but also just basically bouncing off each other. We were able to go and explore angles that we weren't expecting to explore. It just evolved as the time went on.
We go back a long time, Lucy, and we've done a lot together. We've edited Ocean and Nectar together, and now we're guiding this retreat on the emptiness of the mind together. It is very nice co-leading retreat. You have a general structure, but then there's a greater flexibility. Like I will teach and guide a retreat based on what you have in the previous session.
When you were here in the Rocky Mountains and we did the basically subtle impermanence retreat.
Yes.
That was very good fun. So it's not like we haven't done this before together. We've done it before together. It's just, have we done one on a Zoom? No, not yet. But I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to draw people in. I think people are going to really enjoy it and get a lot out of it. Because for one thing, the subject matter is quite rare. 5 days of teachings on the emptiness of the mind. That's quite rare, honestly, because the way it's set up in the books is that Venerable Geshe talks about the emptiness of the mind, like a paragraph here, a couple of paragraphs there, but there's no long, extensive, even chapter on the emptiness of the mind in Venerable Geshe's books. And so what we're doing, of course, is synthesizing. We're bringing together the teachings from all the different books, and we're bringing together the teachings from the different transcripts, like, the Mahamudra teachings and the White Tara teachings, and bringing those together, presenting it in a practical way. It doesn't happen very often, this particular set of instructions.
One thing I wanted to ask, Lucy, is about meditation. So, okay, we all want to improve in our meditation, and this sort of retreat is a great opportunity for us all to to improve our practice, and to emphasize in this retreat how to improve our daily practice of meditation. How should we approach this so that it's not just a retreat, but it's an opportunity where people learn techniques to improve their daily practice of meditation?
Well, I think one meditation we're going to be emphasizing is the clarity of mind, the Mahamudra meditation. Just a powerful technique. And it's the most powerful technique we have, actually, isn't it? Within our very powerful techniques for overcoming distraction and developing mindfulness and concentration, and experiencing real peace of mind. The way I see it is that we will be emphasizing that meditation quite a bit and doing that meditation quite a number of times. And those of you, those people who don't know the meditation, I think are going to love it. And those who know it are going to really enjoy spending some time having a chance to do it. And then it lends itself very, very beautifully, and in fact, essentially, to then the emptiness of the mind. So in terms of improving people's meditation practice, I think this meditation retreat will really help.
We're using emptiness on the meditation of our mind as a way to get deeper into meditation. So often when we sit down on our meditation cushion, our mind's so scattered with the affairs of the day that we can't really meditate well.
Yeah.
Meditation on the nature of the mind brings us deeper quickly.
Yes.
So we're going to use that as a technique to learn to go deeper into meditation. So we could do that at the beginning of any session we were doing. Yeah. I'm beginning to feel really, really excited. It's
Good.
like, oh wow.
It's going to be fun. I actually think it's going to be a lot of fun this course.